In today's video I have a couple of Sony speakers, and the only thing really special about these is these would have come off a profile monitor. Must have been the bigger one. I think it could have been like the KS, was it a 20 PS one? I think they were. Can't really remember the size of the speakers they had on them, but they may have actually fitted onto one of those, or KX27 or something like that. Might even be a later model, but I think it's that sort of era. They're a bit rough, looks like they belong to this Staging Connections people and movie hire or something. So they probably had a lot of road use, fairly beaten up, unknown whether they work or not, but I assume they probably do. They're pretty solid, these things, but definitely you're getting due for a respray, I think. And the Sony badges do face different ways. I think with the profiles you could either have them on the sides of it, like around the back slightly, or you could put them on top of the monitor, sitting with the badges obviously the right way then. They got these little slot on things. Been so long since I've seen one I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what these are off. So I might just hook these up and just give them a run off the amplifier. So I should check the impedance before I do anything, rather than just plug it into your amp. You never know, they could be blown or something. So I should measure something close. That's about 6.8. I think they're 8 ohms, are they? 8 ohms, 15 watt nominal, 25 max. Made in Japan. Let's check the impedance of this one as well. Worth checking to make sure they're roughly the same, slightly higher maybe. Yeah, nice little speakers those. Better than my test speakers. Maybe I should screw these to the wall instead. Might have a look inside one just to see what they're made of. But they are very nice little sounding. I thought Sony would make pretty good ones. These were the higher end products. But yeah, very nice little tweeter. I think that's the vent at the top. There's a couple of inch tweeter, and I guess around a 4-inch woofer. But yeah, very nice. Yeah, they'd make a nice little pair of bookshelf speakers. The highs are really nice coming out of that. And that's not the bassiest song anyway. I'm sure if you crank the bass right up, they'd do the job. And you can turn up nice and loud. These are quite solid cases from memory. But yeah, I picked these up at a reasonable price and I knew what they were. I thought I'll grab those because they might be good to sell to someone who actually needs them. I must admit, I haven't heard them. I might tempted to keep them now as workshop speakers. So then there's, you don't want to risk blowing the things up, but I think that seal is good. Damn, is that tight. Maybe I shouldn't pull them apart. I was going to have a look, see if they need a clean or anything and what the cones are like. I don't really want to, but I think I'm going to have to poke a screwdriver in there somewhere. Where's that little thin one? They certainly sealed them up well. There we go. Oh god, that rubber's really stuck itself in place. It almost feels like there's another screw there, but I don't see any. Yeah, I do wonder about that. That feels like there's something holding that. Do these grills come out? Maybe they do. That would be enough anyway if I can get the grill out. Let's have a look. Can we get... These grills look like they may be removable. Well, they're coming, so they can't be glued in there, I'd say. So I think we're going to find a couple more screws hidden here somewhere. Oh yeah, well, God, look at the filth. Oh yeah, 2 screws. I'm going to take that outside and give it a clean. Yeah, a slight clean up, but it's not too bad. A little bit of muck on the dome there. Dust cap. Certainly look like they've lived life on the road a bit. Bit of dirt and muck in there. And yeah, that's nice and clean. It's a little bit stuck to these rubbery bits here. I don't know if I can do much to get that off. It's kind of sticky stuff. I don't know quite what. That must be to help hold the grill in place, I guess. And I've actually resealed that to the side, I think. Some sort of gooey stuff they've used. I think that could do with slightly pushing out, could it? Oops. I think that's the best I can get it, and the Sony should be on the bracket side, is that right? Yep. Ah, come on, Sony. It's certainly a fiddly thing to get back on. And that's probably why no one's ever had them off. Because they knew better than to take them off. No, you definitely got to get them. I think I started at one end last time. Yeah, that's it. I think you just start at one end and work your way along. But then it's the other end going to go on. Oh, come on, Sony. Ah, really? Well, it worked on the last one. Where's the actual edge of the plastic there? So that corner's going. It's just this bit along here is a bit. There's one little tab there sticking out a bit. Oh, actually, they've got to go in further than they look. That's it. Yeah, possibly slightly bent, these grills. They're not perfect, but helps if you actually push them in properly. But yeah, they're quite a nice little pair of speakers. I better put the screws back in that one.
Served a 12-month beauty, but was exposed to hostile fire.
Tell you what, you forget TVs used to have speakers like that on them once. Now they're all horrible tinny rubbish. Of course you use your surround system normally is the idea, but they're quite amazing. Watching some music videos or something on that would have been pretty good. I don't know how loud those monitors actually went, but I think they had a decent amp in them. I mean, some of the actual TVs did as well. You could crank them up fairly loud. Yeah, these are great. So these are basically like hi-fi speakers that were attached to a television. And yeah, to crank the bass up on it, and they do a pretty good job of that as well. How's that bracket? A little dirty still, of course. Anyway, I got the worst of the muck off them. They do need a bit of work to respray them. I looked these speakers up online and it looks like they may not be the same as the ones on some of the monitors. It looks like some people have bought them maybe separately because they're described as car speakers and all sorts of things, or maybe they just don't know what they are, but there's enough of them out there that they may not be off the monitors. But they're very similar looking to the ones that were on the monitors, but I think the KX20 PS1 type ones were a bit smaller than these by the look of it, which is what I thought initially. So maybe these aren't off. I thought they might have just been off the bigger screen version, but they may use the same. But either way, they're a nice little pair of speakers. And yeah, besides needing a good coat of paint again, possibly they could be sprayed a different colour to, since these don't really match much other than something like a TV set. That's the other reason I was thinking they would be something like that, because they are that colour. But I guess you could use them in other situations as well, but probably black would be more appropriate in the modern world. So ideally you'd want to keep them in original, I guess. But yeah, it really wants, the front edges are pretty knocked about, probably wants sanding off a little bit. And yeah, some new paint on it, and the backs, I don't think they're so much, they're just scraped mostly, I think, but yeah, even they probably want a bit of a sand. At least most of the labelling is actually built onto it, so they're respraying over, that's no problem at all, and just put a bit of tape over the serial number, I guess. And there's even a bit of rust and scratches on the metal, so they probably want doing as well. So they're not the nicest of brackets. They certainly make a nice pair of outdoor speakers or something probably, but how well the cones would hold up, or the surrounds on around the cones. But anyway, they tested and working, and they sound really good. And yeah, I am half tempted to keep them, but really I need to get rid of some stuff that's lying around here, so I might work out what I'm going to do with them and go from there. So thanks for watching.